This is your daily dose of all things royal. Welcome back, my gorgeous, good looking friends. Today, I want to take a moment and talk about how far Meghan Markle has fallen. So, by now, you probably have seen whether it be still shots of this or the actual video clip of a squatty posting on TikTok of Meghan. Apparently, she's supposed to be jogging, but it did look like she had a full on photo shoot going in Beverly Hills. There are no security guards around her, and this random person who happens to be a squatty gets this quick video clip. My initial reaction or thoughts about this is that I truly believe that Meghan has no opportunity where a photo shoot would be needed, and she just brought out all these interns that are working at Archwell to pretend that Meghan is doing some type of photo shoot just to keep people wondering and speculating. In all the puff pieces that Meghan Markle is putting out about this jog in Beverly Hills, Beyonce's name keeps coming up and mentioning this collaboration that she has with Adidas, speculating whether or not she's wearing one of those pieces. But this is how Meghan keeps herself in the media and somehow relevant by tying herself to other more well-established A-listers in hopes that someone's going to throw her some type of endorsement deal because she is wearing the product. Meghan was notorious for doing this kind of crap in the TIG, where she would write about people that she really didn't have a relationship with, but made it appear as if she had these friendships, like with Ivanka Trump and Emma Watson. Meghan was always about creating the optics to make people think that she was on the same level as some of these A-listers and wealthy entrepreneurs. What's really creepy about this woman is her tendency to attach herself to someone. And it almost feels like now she's attaching herself to Beyonce because Beyonce now has this collaboration with Adidas. And we've seen so many instances where Meghan is trying to put herself in the same room with Beyonce. Mentioning her in her Netflix mockumentary, her mom Doria with Beyonce's mother. Who could forget that? And then we had Meghan going to the concert 2 times in a row. Like, you got to wonder, is Meghan now obsessed and trying to stalk after Beyonce to become besties with her? If I were Beyonce, I would be beefing up my security. But going back to this, I mean, can anyone really confirm that she's in Beverly Hills? Because the next question is, where are her children? Like, why is she always without her children? Beverly Hills is about 2 to 3 hours away from Montecito. So did Meghan lock these invisible children up in the attic for the day, or was this video really shot in Beverly Hills? Something tells me that for the optics, she told this squatty to go ahead and put that she was in Beverly Hills, but really this was her backyard. Again, everything that we have witnessed about Meghan Markle has been done for the optics. There is nothing behind the curtain. And this is what we witness consistently with Meghan during her time as a working royal. Everything that Meghan does is so contrived, but here's the thing, she doesn't know any other way. I want to go back and show you an example of how Meghan truly does not have the ability to show empathy and connect with people. We're going to talk about this event that Meghan went to. It was the Mothers to Mothers in South Africa during the tour. So Meghan shows up to this center, nonprofit, that does facilitate and help women who are HIV positive and their families, providing beneficial health care. I'm going to show you a clip that did not get much attention to it, and you'll understand why in a second. But Meghan inappropriately suggests all the mothers to sit on the ground with her. It would have made a lot more sense to do that had Meghan brought Archie with her to play with the others, but she didn't. So there was no need for Meghan to get down on the floor and ask the other women to get down on the floor, especially when some of them were wearing dresses.
Here, we can all sit down here because we can all sit down. Don't get down on the floor. Come on, it's fine. Hi.
Nicole? No. I'd like you to introduce you and ask you
Okay. I can't be the only one.
No,
sitting
come on,
down.
everyone needs to come down.
Share your thoughts below. Do you think that this was appropriate since she didn't bring Archie herself to play with those toys in the middle of the floor? And this is a perfect example of Meghan using other people's children to demonstrate what a great mother she is instead of using her own.
Please.
I was thinking if it was Archie and we had all these toys in the middle, but I think it was in the cherry just the one
Keep it grabbing.
I found Meghan incredibly disrespectful by doing this because this event or visit was supposed to be a discussion with these women. So now you have this awkwardness of women sitting on chairs. In fact, one of them who is trying to talk to Meghan, and Meghan is busy with trying to create the optics of her being this maternal, caring mother by focusing on the kids on the ground. Watch what happens here. So the gentleman introduces the woman behind Meghan. As you can see, she's wearing the black skirt. This woman has to now move her seat over so she can get into a position to talk properly to Meghan and have this dialogue. Watch how rude Meghan behaves with this woman.
So please, I'd like to now ask Nicole if she would continue.
Thank you so much, friend. Once again, Your Highness, it's a pleasure to have you there.
You see how rude Meghan is to this woman? She starts to say, "Once again, Your Royal Highness, it's a pleasure to meet you." And here Meghan is completely ignoring her. And you see how Meghan puts on this phony act of being maternal for the cameras. So just to give you a little context, the woman goes into telling her story of how she found Mothers to Mothers.
And great honor. Thank you. My name is Beyonce. I'm a single mom of two girls. Yes. I have the first one is Lisa, she's 85 years old, and the last one is Impa, she's actually 5 months old, almost the same age as baby Archie. Oh my God.
So in case you didn't understand what she said, she is explaining to Meghan that she's a single mom with 2 girls, but explains that these 2 girls are well into their teens, almost adults. And Meghan's like, "Oh, wow." But you can see that the woman notices that Meghan's attention is not paying attention to her, but more so on the children as she's trying to explain this to Meghan, and Meghan is not even looking at her.
And great honor. Thank you. My name is Impa. I'm a single mom of two girls. Yes. I have the first one is Lisa, she's 85 years old, and the last one is Impa, she's actually 5 months old, almost the same age as baby Archie. Oh my God. And currently I'm in a good space, but things haven't always been easy for me. I was actually married at a very young age of 19, and was married to my husband who was actually 7 years older than I was.
Just so you can understand, she's saying that she's in a good space, but things weren't always so easy for her. She was married at a very young age, at 18, and the man that she married was a lot more older than she was. And Meghan is just like, She now goes in to tell her about this arranged marriage and getting pregnant.
And about 2 years in my marriage, I'm very pregnant. And as part of making sure that the mother and the child are healthy, I went to the clinic for my facility, for my clinic, for my pregnancy services. Yes. And as part of the routine that I was there, I had to test for HIV, and the result came positive.
Did you guys just see how Meghan showed the world she really doesn't give a shit about these women? This brave woman is telling Meghan her story, a very personal story that, quite frankly, Meghan didn't deserve to be told. But in any case, the woman is sharing with Meghan that when she was pregnant and went to the doctor to get all the proper tests, including the HIV tests, that's when she found out that she was HIV positive. And I'm sure this is a story that this woman was telling Meghan and was expecting her undivided attention. You can tell that this woman is getting uncomfortable telling this very personal story about when she found out she was HIV positive because Meghan is showing her she just doesn't care. Watch this again.
And about 2 years in my marriage, I'm very pregnant. And as part of making sure that the mother and the child are healthy, I went to the clinic for my facility, for my clinic, for my pregnancy services. Yes. And as part of the routine that was there, I had to test for HIV, and the result came positive.
And then this woman begins to tell Meghan, and you can see visibly and through her voice that it still pains her when she did find out that she was HIV positive and how she felt and trying to express that to Meghan. And Meghan is barely engaging with her. She asks her one question and she keeps making these stupid noises like, mm, like, you know what I'm talking about, the irritating fake compassion that Meghan does. But anyway, she's doing it throughout this almost condescending and patronizing to this woman in a way.
It wasn't the best moment of my life because I felt like there was somebody I needed to blame for that. So being that young, being married to my husband who was actually older, I just had to shift the blame on him more like I'm the youngest with all the story. And obviously he's the one that has affected me. Did you feel scared? Scared, ashamed, and it was just terrifying. Like one of those moments when you just want to disappear, just shut down. I don't want to be here, I don't want to do this. But luckily, I was introduced to mothers there in the health facility. Through the mental mothers, they were able to calm me down, able to explain to me, give me the psychosocial support that I needed, that being HIV positive and young doesn't mean the end of it. Right. What I just needed to do was accept my status, start my treatment, and make sure that I'm adherent to my name.
So I asked my audience here now, if you were sitting in Meghan's shoes, how would you have reacted to this conversation or this woman talking to you? I know what I would have done. I most definitely would have given her my undivided attention, and I would have shown her that I was listening to her and that I understood. At this point, Meghan should have got up off her ass and sat down next to this woman to look her eye to eye to show her that she was listening. Now, as this woman continues to talk about her pregnancy and how supportive mothers to mothers were during that time to help her deliver an HIV-free baby, she then reveals to Meghan that 3 weeks later, she lost the baby.
And they were there with me throughout the whole journey of pregnancy. And I delivered an HIV-free baby. Unfortunately, 3 weeks after that, I lost my baby. He passed away.
So here's the perfect example of Meghan not having that empathy chip. Right here, woman says, 3 weeks later, I lost my baby. And there's a pregnant pause, and Meghan's given no reaction, and she had to emphasize and said, it passed away. And then Meghan, delayed, is like, oh, I'm so sorry, right? So it's almost as if she's telling herself in her head, Meghan, you need to say something because you're supposed to show that you care, and this is a horrible thing. She doesn't actually naturally gut feeling say, oh my God, that's so sad, or I'm so sorry. She just says what she knows that she has to say to appear or give the optics that she actually has this empathy and can feel what this woman is feeling.
Unfortunately, 3 weeks after that, I lost my baby. He passed away. I lost my baby. He passed away.
Look at the woman in the orange noticing this cold, callous bitch. She just got done telling Meghan she lost a child. And at this point, I would think anybody who was told this would be hooked on the story and your focus would be there. But nope, not Meghan. The woman is trying to share with her this moment, this painful moment for her. And what Meghan does is obviously focus back on herself for the optics and trying to get the perfect photo with these children.
But because I was supported by good women, women mothers, I did not give up. I actually gave it another try and fell pregnant again. And
So this woman finishes up her story and talks about how supportive mothers to mothers had been in her other pregnancies and the role that she's now playing with the organization and giving back to help other women. So, Meghan can't sit there and keep her mouth shut. She has to chime in and talk about how the community works together, collective, throwing all the same buzzwords into the word salad, mixing it up and spitting it up against the wall, adding absolutely no value as she normally does. Hence the reason why I took out the audio, because you know what? One, no one cares. And two, in some little way, it feels good to silence this woman's voice because she's such a narc. Looking back at this, it's so gross how Meghan exploits not only these vulnerable people, but also children. She's such a predator. And, in this whole photo op that was staged and orchestrated here by Kensington Palace for this tour, what did they really accomplish? The one thing that stuck out to me about this event was how insulted these women must have felt that Meghan brought the hand-me-downs of Archie to give to them.
He's outgrown that. He's a big this one. But at any rate, there's all sorts of things there that I thought, it's so important to be able to share what's worked for our families and to know that we were all in this together with each other. So we just wanted to share something from our home to each of yours. So you'll have this.
Yeah, of course. It's our pleasure. Thanks.
It's really unfortunate that it was this psychopath that won the lotto ticket in life. Think about it. This woman never had to think again about money, worry about how she's going to keep a roof over her head or put food on her table. All she had to do was put her time in. And I truly believe that if it was anybody else but Meghan that actually wanted to do this, they could have done some really great things in this world. And it's such a shame that this missed opportunity was wasted on this stupid, dumb bitch, in my opinion. Meghan Markle is the biggest fraud of our time. And it's not a question of if, but it's a matter of when this woman is going to get her comeuppance, because it is coming. She can't sustain, and in fact, she's on a trajectory that does not seem to ever be going back up again. So I'd like to end with this final thought. I know so many of us are sick and tired of not only seeing this woman's face, but hearing anything about what she's doing. Nobody really cares, but she still is fascinating in the sense that Meghan Markle is not only a curse, but she's also a blessing. And when I say that, I mean like a curse, the worst thing to have ever entered into the royal family and to happen to them. And at the same time, a blessing, because not only have her failures provided us endless amounts of content and creativity, but also she has exposed the world of these globalists and elites. Unbeknownst to them, they have given away the tricks and tactics that PR companies use to manipulate the masses because they're such bad liars. And I think that's the one benefit coming out of all of this, is now being more aware of how our media outlets are lying to us, not only with Harry and Meghan, but you can see it on other topics and issues that are trying to not only lie to us, but to fall in line with a very bad place that the world is going. And I think it's important to recognize that and be appreciative. So that's one thing I think I'm grateful for in why I talk about Harry and Meghan. They really do give the game away, believe it or not. But what do you guys think? Definitely leave your thoughts. As always, I will be back with more content. But until then, please be safe, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Such a fraud.